If you are absolute beginners in game development, and this is the perfect place. In this video, I will show you the three fundamental concepts that you have to learn to become a game developer. And after that, I will show you 5 simple steps that you can follow to build this game that I am currently playing. And this game, I call it as a chicken escape game. And the principle is that chicken is falling from the sky, and if you hit one of this, it crashes and you lose some point. And if you lose enough life, you'd be kicked out of the game, or you would be a loser from this game. So that's the whole concept, and you don't need like a much knowledge about programming. You can just build it while you are just following these steps with me, and that would be so much fun. And you help me a little bit because this YouTube channel is very close to the 2000 subscriber, and my mom told me if this channel can get like 2000 subscriber in next 5 days, I don't have to wash the dishes for next 15 days. So while I'm teaching you how to escape from the chicken, please help me so that I can escape from washing the dishes for next 15 days, and that would be a good deal. So please help me out, like this video and hit the subscribe of this channel, and then we will go to 3 fundamental concepts of game development. And the very first, the concept of game development is game engine. And you can Google like a game engine, and you will find a lot of popular game engine. And the most popular one is called like a Unity. And these days, pretty much all the medium-sized games are built on Unity. So you can just search for like a popular game engine, and you'll see like Unity would come at the very beginning or on the top of the list. And this Unity gives you a lot of cool features that makes your game development effort much more easier. And that's why if you play a lot of games in the mobile phone or even in the desktops or very serious, they use Unity some extent. And then the second concept that you will need to know is like a game loop, how game is executed. Think about this picture that where you see like an 8 different frames. What is happens? That means like a person is like different steps of walking, and it is like, say for example, if you're walking like this, you'll put your leg, you go this one, and you this, like you walk like this way. And if you break it down, this is actually like multiple steps. That's it's happening in the game. When you see a video like this video, what is this? If you pause this, you will see a still picture. And if you make it very slow, you'll see like an image is going one after another. That means a video is nothing but a motion picture. So that's why in the early days, videos are called like a motion pictures. That means the picture is moving, and since you are moving the steps like this, and then it means like you are just walking like this. Look at this animation we are doing. And that's what is happening inside a game. There's a huge while loop. A loop is running forever, and it's rendering or changing on the screen, and it has a something called a frame per second. That means you don't have to understand all this. All you have to think about is that to keep things moving, you need to run a loop, and that based on the loop, things will move. That means from one place to another. If you understand this part, you are good with the second thing. And the number 3 thing that you need to understand is the coordinate system. Think about this page or any blank page. So let's start this one. It's a blank page. Where is my mouse? How you know where is the mouse? You have to think about that my mouse is from the left, maybe like 400 pixel, or maybe in terms of inches like 3 inch from the left side, and then from the top is like a 2 inch. So you can think about this. This is a coordinate system, and a lot of game development, they sets the coordinate system like from the top corner. This is the 0 0, and then it goes, if you increases like go this way, that increases, and if you go this way, then it increases. This is the x-axis, this is the y-axis, and if you go on top of it, that's negative. If you go below it, that's positive. Same things, if you go this way, this is positive, and if you go, this is negative. Don't worry much about it. We will see live examples when we'll be building the game, but you just need to understand 3 quick concepts. It's like game engine, the game loop, and then coordinate systems. We'll definitely see a lot of good example when we would be working on it in our chicken escape game. So I'm very excited. Are you excited for the chicken escape game? And we will definitely show you the step by step 5 steps that you need to follow to build the game. And after building the game, you would be able to share this game with anybody in this world and they will be able to play it. How cool would be that you are sharing and showing off your work to your friend that, hey, this is the game I built. So that would be definitely cool. So let's jump into the game development part of this video. So the very first step of this game development is cool. And if you look into the game once again, you'll see that you have few resources in this game. That means you have like this background image, and then you have this cool dude hiding in the corner and the chicken images. That means you need all these resources. And if you want to use your own resources, that's fine. Or if you want to use these resources that you see in this image, that means this images and picture, you can get those from our GitHub. And our GitHub is, you can go to like github.com/programminghero1/chicken-escape. So if you go to this URL, you would able to see this background image. This is a chicken and the user. And if you don't want to use our resources and you can use your own resources, perhaps you can use your own picture instead of this guy, or he can use, better option would be use your potential girlfriend or boyfriend, like your crush's picture. In that case, don't fall the chicken, that would not be that romantic. Rather, fall some heart emoji from the sky. That means your beloved one would be there, and then there would be like a shower of love. That would be cool, and that might be a new opening for you to have someone in your life. But anyway, whatever you decide, if you want to get our resources, just go to this URL, github.com/programminghero1/chicken-escape, and then click on this clone or download. You can just download the resources, which is, you will have these resources. And if you are using a Mac, you should be able to just double click on get the resources. If you are in Windows, just right click on it and then extract all. And this will, you need to choose where you want to extract. Maybe we will to extract in the dashboard or even in the download, wherever you want to do that. And a folder would be created there. If you want, you have like one before, it would be extracted here, chicken escape. And you'll see like this is the background image, this is the chicken, and this is the cool dude. And to code it, you can code if you have like a Python install, and you can install some external Python libraries. You can do it in your own computer. Or if you don't want to bother where to install something, there is a very easier solution. And the good part is that if you use this easier solution after you're building your own game, you can share this to anyone in this world. That means like if you want to show off your first game with your friend's face or your face or your beloved one face, you just have a URL and that's it. You don't need much. And that website is called like a ripple.it. And this gives you some free spaces if you want to start coding in any kind of popular language. And if you don't have an account, I recommend to sign up. That's very easy. You can sign up with Google, like you click on the sign up and it's very easy. You can sign up with this. I am here just logged in with my my email address, so it's very easy. So just do it, and then you can create your Ripple or something like that. So you just click on this, and then you choose whatever the language you want to do. And in my case, I want to use the Pygame. So you choose the Pygame, and you can give any name. In my case, I'm giving like a chicken escape because I want to escape from the chicken, and then give it a name. Then this will create a place where I can code. And this is the setup. And definitely before getting into our first step out of our 5 step, this very exciting 5 step to build your own game, we will load the images. So what you can do, you can click on this upload image, and wherever you have extracted. So in my case, inside the download folder, I have this chicken escape master, and I want to upload these 2 images and the user. So just click upload, and then upload the user. And if you want to put your face or whatever the face, you upload this. So this is my playground. My code playground is ready. Now my first step start right now. and my goal is to set up the resources. That means here we have resources, this background, this dude, and this chicken. And if we can display those, then it'd be good enough for us to be finish the first step. So let's get started. And since we'll be using a game engine, in our case we'll use a very lightweight, smaller engine that comes with like Python, and you can install it. Just search for Pygame, you will see it, and they will show you how to install in your computer. But in our case, we'll just import Pygame. Once we have the import Pygame, next step we have to tell Pygame, hey, what would be the game screen? If you are developing a maybe laptop game, your screen will be full screen or some bigger size. If you're doing for mobile devices, that will be smaller. In our case, we would be targeting little bit similar to the mobile devices. In that case, we will say like, hey, we will have a screen size, and this screen size would be say like a mobile device, maybe 360 pixel, and height would be 600. So that's a screen size. And then we say like, okay, we will need a screen too. And to have the screen, all we can tell, hey, the screen would be the screen you will be generating from Pygame. So this will be pygame.display, and then this is just you're calling some function inside the Pygame, and this is how you will create the screen by providing the screen size. So that's kind of like a setting the screen. And then you need to look into a little bit a concept of the game loop that we saw before. So the game loop that we saw before was like a running forever. That means like those who are building the game wants the player, whoever playing the game, to play forever. That's why this gaming or the games are kind of like addicting. They want to keep playing for a long time. So what we'll see just a simple say loop, a while loop, and we'll running for is like a, if it is true, run it forever. And to show it, let's say I have a variable called I equals to 0, and inside it what I'm doing, that changing the value of I every time it's run it, increase the value by 1. That means I, new value of I would be previous value I plus 1. That means increases at a time, and then I'm just printing the value of I. So we'll see that how this infinity loop goes. That means you'll be seeing like value of I, or maybe here in the output. So, and to see the output is very simple. You click on this dude, and then it will like start up spin your Python server and execute the code, and you will see the output right below it. So you will see that since this is growing like crazy, that means like the loop is running, and it's running forever. It's increasing the values every single time it runs. It increases the values, shows the output, come back, and going really quickly. And by now we already are done pretty much once 80,000 or 200,000 times actually. That means this is how quickly the game loop is running. However, you can control it actually. So you can control, this is called how many frames is running. Think about like movies actually. Movies, whatever you see, or even videos like this one you're seeing, if you pause this and slowly run it or hover over it, you will see like a lot of still pictures. That means a movie is nothing but a pictures that is moving very quickly. That's why they used to call it as like a motion picture. In the old days, like movies was called motion pictures. That means it's the movie. And you can control how many still picture would be displayed per second, and that's called like frames per second. And you can control it in your game, but we are not getting into that detail. What we are seeing right now is that our loop is running, and so far it's almost run like 700,000 or something like this, and we will stop it right now. And we exited like kind of like an 800,000 times it ran in matter of like a minute or something. But anyway, we need to convert it to a game loop, and converting it to a game loop is very easy. What we will do, we will say like, say in game loop, people will say like a keep alive. That means you want to keep the game going, and by default values or starting values would be true. And here you will write this keep alive. That means as long as this keep alive variable is true, the game loop continue doing it. and we don't have like an I anymore, so we'll just delete this code. But we got this idea that to keep this running we need to do something. And here in our case, what we will do, we will try to load the image and display it. That's our the goal one, milestone one, or the first step. And loading image is super simple in using Pygame. If you have this background image or chicken image or user image, all you have to do is to tell like, hey Pygame, get to the image and then load, and then you pass or you write the name of the image you want to load. Here, so for example, you want to load the background. In that case, we will type here background, and that's all, and then background.png. Don't forget the image extension, otherwise you will not get the image loaded. Background png. And see, if you have like a multiple images, you need to distinguish which image is what, and you will give a name like a background here as equals to this. So that's how you are loading the image, and then we'll know how to display it here. You have to tell inside this that, hey, inside when you're running the loop, what I want to do is to, I want to, in the screen that you created, to transfer this image. And this is called like, say for example, you can write screen.bleed. This is BL is for block, and then a kind of like an I for image and T for transfer. That means like a block image transfer. So you have a block, you want to display it on the image on the screen or something like that. And you need to provide two information. First information, you'll provide that which image you want to display. So here we want to display the background, whatever the background, and then we'll tell it what is the position. So the position by default we'll put like 0, 0. We will see the uses of this after a few time. Using it in like in a minute, we'll know that what this 0, 0 means. And then one last thing you need to do is that, hey, Pygame, I have something new, or I am adding something new. You need to update the screen as your game is looping. Otherwise, a loop would be running, but screen would be the same. It will not change. So you need to update the screen when the game is rolling. Otherwise, the character or the image or the gun will not move. It will be stayed all there. So you'll say like, hey Pygame, you need to display whatever the display you have, you need to update it. That's all. So if we have done this, how many lines of code? Maybe like 8 lines of code. If you not count all these white lines and then execute it, you will see that, wow, your background image is there. So what you have done is like you import this game engine Pygame, you set up the screen size, and you say like, hey Pygame, you need to, whatever you would be displaying, like this display, you need to set the mode would be this size. And then you are just loading a background image, you're creating a game loop, and said, hey screen, you need to transfer some image on the screen, and this is 0, 0. We will understand it in a minute. And then you are telling the Pygame to update the display, and then this is running forever. That's it. So you see the images, and in our actual game we have like a few other things like this chicken, whatever is falling from there, and this dude, we want to display those, and we already have them here like this chicken and the user. So we'll do, say maybe load the user, so we can just copy this dude and then paste it here and paste it again, and maybe we'll make this guy as the user, and his image name is the user.png, and this guy is the chicken, and this is the chicken. Don't do like spelling mistake, chicken. And to display it, let's use the same thing here, this and this. So here we have the second one is the user, and then third one is the chicken. So if now we stop this code and then run it, you would be seeing those things on the display. You see little bit of that guy's head and the chicken, because what is happening, we are putting the same thing on top of it. Same thing means like when we put this value, this means what would be the left top corner. So we say like a background image is left top corner is like this, so it goes the whole mobile screen or phone screen. And then we said like the user is also left top corner would be 0 0, and then the chicken will be 0 0 as well. Everybody is there. Let's try to move this user. We say like, okay, hey user, we know the first value is your x-axis and y-axis. We want to change your x-axis. We want to put it maybe somewhere in the middle, and we know the x-axis is 360. So maybe x-axis, if we put like in 180, this would be like this left corner would be in the middle. So if you do this, if you run this, you'll see that this left corner is in the center of the image. But his left corner in the center, that means like he is not in the center. Maybe if you think he is like a 60 pixel or something like this, we can reduce it like say maybe 150 or something like this. Make it 150. Then we run this guy, and then we'll be able to see him inside in the center, almost center of this screen, or somewhat in the center. Now if you want to move this in the down, this is our y-axis. This is the y-axis, and we said like, okay, y-axis, we know the height is 600. Maybe we'll put like say maybe 550, something like this. And we run this guy, then you see like this dude, his y-axis is like, oh, it's almost hiding there. It looks like somebody is hiding from there. We can reduce it, maybe like say maybe like a 520 or something like that. This like his height is like around 60 pixel. And we do this, we will be able to place 3 images on our screen, and we are done with our step 1. So how much code we did? Maybe this is like in our how many lines of code we done is like 13 lines of 12 lines of code. We have like the stage ready, and our next step is to make this chicken fall from the sky, and that would be a cool thing. And let's see in the step 2. In this part, we will make this chicken like not static. That means it will be like falling from the sky. A falling of the chicken, what does it mean actually? Think about it. That means the position is static now. The y-axis position is static. If it wants to move this way, that means this position, the y-axis position, has to be changing over the time. That means as the game loop is running, you want to change the position of the y. This is the x position, this is the y position. So we can easily do it. So for example, we can do a very simple way that at this game is running, what we want to do, we want to change the chicken position. Maybe this is like chicken position y. Maybe we can name it as a like here chicken y. The initial value is 0. That's what we kept. And then here we can do the chicken y, whatever the previous value plus 5 or something like that. That means like every time you're running the loop, the position of chicken would increase by 5 pixel. And if you do like here, other than making it a static 0 all the time, you make this dynamic chicken y. So what we are doing is very simple. We're declaring a variable chicken y, and when you are running the loop, in that case, every time we are increasing the position of the chicken. That means it's increasing 1 1 1, or every time it's like 5 5 5 5 5, and then you're setting it like this. So if you run this code, you will see that your chicken is falling and then it's gone. It's not coming back. And why this is happening? Think about it. What's happening is like it's increasing 5 5 5 5. Your screen is up to this, but it's keep going, and it's going forever under everywhere. It's not coming back. So we need to keep it falling like multiple times, and that means we can use something like an if else. So what we can do here, so like if chicken y position is greater than 600, because we know this screen size is 600. That's what we declared. That means if it is 600 plus, it's not in the screen anymore. In that case, we want to set the chicken position as like 0, something like this. So if chicken position y is greater than 600, in that case its value would become again 0. That means it's 600 plus, it's falling out of our screen, so we are jumping it again here. That's why like a chicken is falling, come back, falling, come back, falling, something like this. And if you do this, this is what will happen. And if it is not greater than 600, in that case, what we will do? We will increase the value by 5. So it's simple. So if 600 more, jumping here, and if it is 600 less than 600, like 300 or 250 or something, whatever the values, we keep increasing. 600 hits, jump it, something like this. And then we will be seeing the same chicken. If we just run it, same chicken is falling again and again, and we'll be able to see that. So let's run this code, and then let's play this start. Click on this start, and you'll be able to see like this chicken is like falling. That means like a shower of the chicken, and you can control actually this speed of falling by creating a clock. And if you want to create a clock, creating a clock is very simple. All you have to do is to declare a variable here, for example clock, and this clock would be your pygame time, and then capital C clock. That means you're creating a clock, and then you'll be able to know how many tick, like in a actual clock, you see that's like all the number of times it clicks in a second, something like this. And you can use the same thing to control the speed. So for example, here you will be like a clock, and how many tick you want. So for example, if you want to like a smoother, you will make something like 60 or 24, something like this, and then it will go to like kind of like a smoother way. And if you do like a very small number, say for example 2 or 1, that means it's a very less number of tick in a second, and that means it will be like little bit. This is a very lazy chicken. So anyway, you can control by creating the clock that how smoothly this will run. But you got this idea, like you would be able to move this like this way. So anyway, you were able to create one chicken and then falling from the sky. Since you can create one chicken, you should be able to create like more chicken. So let's do that. Create multiple chicken. That will be more fun. And to do that, display the same chicken in multiple times. All you can need to do is here. Let's see, we will do one less line here, and then we say like, okay, we create another chicken, just render another chicken. In this case, this chicken would not be in the same position. Otherwise, same X position, they would be like 2 chicken or 5 chicken there, and they're falling. Doesn't help you at all. So we will tell, like, if we just render with this same position, we will not be able to see like 2 chicken here. But we say like, hey, this chicken you position in the center or something like 150 that we did for this guy. And then you should go on that side. Now you will see like 2 chicken is falling. You see like 2 chicken. If you want to 3 chicken, like as many chicken as you need, you can create as many chicken as you need. So here, this one we make like maybe a total with 360. Let's make it like a 300, something like this. In that case, what will happen? This chicken, let's go a little bit on this side, so maybe 280 to keep this in the screen. We'll make it like 280 or something like this. In that case, we have like 3 chicken falling from the sky, but we need to make this like not exactly they're falling at the same time. Then you don't have any chance to escape, and it's not a game. You are surely died in the first shoot, and this game would be done, and nobody would be playing hours and hours, and there would not be much interest about the game anyway. So you need to have like a little bit winnable. It's a little harder to win, but at least winnable. This stage there is no way to win, so you need to make it like a randomly falling, and also you need to do some changes there. That means like currently they all start in the same Y position. We need to vary the Y position for all 3 chicken. And here you will see the actual game, this like Y position changes. So like, for example, this comes as like a random order. You see like this one came, and then you don't know the second one, and the third one came, and the next iteration, it comes in a different, sometimes like they come 2 together, 2 close, 1, or this before, this after, and that's how it comes as like some unpredictability there, and that makes fun about the game. If this all predictable, they're coming all 3, it's not fun. It has to be some randomness or unpredictable things, and that's why we need to make this 3 chicken position starting differently. So that's way to to create like a chicken position for one chicken, we'll create a chicken position for 3 chicken. So we can like a chicken y, that would be our 3 chicken. We can still do like this. This is, we are declaring an array, something like this. And if we do this 3 chicken position, previously which was a variable, now it's converted to an array. That means we need to handle it little different way. And if you want to handle it chicken position different way, all we have to do is to do 2 things. We need to do some random, and then here we need to set like the chicken position. This would be the whatever the chicken position, and this would be since chicken y is an array, in that case, so this one we will comment it out. So just control and then slash, it will be commented. And here chicken y, this would be your first chicken position, whatever is the position there, and this is your second position, whatever this position, and this is your third position. So this is the third position, is the index 2. In that case, you would be able to set these 2, but this has to change dynamically. What we had to do here, we can do like a write 3 if else. So for example, we can make it crazy that if chicken 0 is greater than 600, then you do chicken y position 0 equals to 0. Otherwise, chicken 0 position would be whatever is the chicken position 0 plus 5. If you do this, then you need to do this for 3 places. So you need to for the chicken 0, you need to for the chicken 1, and you need to do it for chicken 2. Or you can create a function. So let's try this, and what happens we'll see. That your one chicken is changing, because that's what you are doing, one chicken, but the second chicken isn't changing, third chicken is changing. So you can either write a function. So we can write a function and pass the parameter and change it, like other than writing it 3 times. So we just take this out from here, and we will create a function. And to create a function is very simple. In Python, you can just def, but this is define, this short form of define, and then you name like something like an update chicken position or something like that. Let's chicken position, something like this. And then you take some parameter, maybe it's the index of the chicken, and there you put whatever you have there. And here instead of 0, you do like say idx, and you set this idx, and you do this idx, and then whatever the index, actually this is like a short form of idx. So then what you can do, you can call this update chicken position, and you do like for the first one, and then you do call this second and third. If you do the second one and third one, in that case, if you run this guy, then all 3 would be falling at the same time, like all 3 is falling, but we are not yet made them as like a randomly coming. So we are able to declare this function, and we said like, okay, for all these 3, you just go there. So for the first chicken, it goes here, and it see this position is greater than 600, sets to 0, and if it is not, then it's increase the values. And same thing does for the second, and same thing is done for the third one. So to make this chicken falling, other than like all falling together, we want to make them fall like randomly. So from this person, this chicken will fall, and this would be here, this would be there, or those kind of thing. We need to introduce some randomness, and Python already have some built-in module. You can just import random. So if you have this random, you can use this randomness, and to declare it, like say define random offset, or you can name anything else. We want to do like a random, and what this random will do is will return return random dot, it has some rand int, and what this rand int is doing, it's creating a random number between a range you give. So for example, we want to create a random number between say like 100 to maybe 1500, something like this, or in this range of values you give me any value. So sometimes it will give me 200, sometimes 500, sometimes like a 900, sometimes 1400, any values in between this range. And think about it, what we are getting, we are setting the offset values, and we'll set like this would be your starting values for the chicken. What is the starting value of the chicken? And the starting value of the chicken is coming from two places. First, it's coming from this guy, and then also when it start moving, it comes update and then come to this function. We'll give it a one more space so that it doesn't complains about formatting. And then here we are resetting to zeros. So other than resetting, we will set this to random offset. And when we do this, we will make a little bit mistake, but we will solve it in the next iteration. And this, when we see like it goes for the first time, and then it's coming from somewhere, not from the top, but somewhere in between. So why this is happening? The reason this is happening is that we are setting a positive number, and we know this positive number, whatever is the values, maybe we can do like say 200, 500 or something, whatever the values we give, and that values, this is the 0 and that's why it's popping up in the middle of the screen. But we want to pop it from the top or beyond. In that case, we'll convert this number to a negative number. And to convert it to a negative number is super easy. If I give you like a 500 and you multiply it by -1, and that becomes -500. So it's like a -1 multiplied this random number, and we stop this and we run it. Then this chicken is starting from the top all, and then after this sometime they're coming as a random order. Now you have enough time to move around or do something around to, like, you know, at least this one came, these two, this didn't came, this came maybe a little later, is falling, and then later these two coming together give you very little space to skip. But it has one small issue, that in the first iteration it will kill you because it comes all together. Now what we will do, we will put this random offset for all three values. So we just copy this guy, and we will put all these three values there. So here we will put it. So this is the one, and then this is one, and it will we'll put there, but it complains. Let's see what is complaining is undefined. Oh, I see, we got it, because we're defining this function here, but we are using it before. So don't worry, we'll just copy this dude, and maybe we will put it somewhere here. Okay, if we do this, and then it will not complain because you define the function and use it here. Now we will start, and you will see in the beginning they also, from the first time, they come as a random manner. So now this random manner is coming, and you are able to animate the chicken, which is your step 2 is done. And the next step would be make this dude moving left and right. So let's get to the next step so that this dude can escape from there. In this part, our task is very simple. We want to make this dude movable so that he can escape from the chicken. Right now he's pretty static. That means like the chicken is like falling on his head and every single time, and this guy is like can't do anything. So, and to do so, our task is very, very simple. We need to get some kind of events from the keyboard. That means like you would be able to click left or right arrow on your keyboard and then move this dude from any side of the screen. And it's kind of like very easy in Python or using the Pygame. All you have to do is tell inside this while loop that, hey, Pygame, you need to capture the events that people are doing on the keyboard. So you say like, hey, Pygame, you need to call the event and get the event that is coming there. And once you do this, then Pygame would be start capturing all the event. And then you say you can capture the keys on the keyboard that the user would be pressing. And to get that, you say like, okay, Pygame, now you need to get the key and get those that are pressed. So you need to do like this pressed. So when this part is done, then your job becomes easier. You are actually capturing the keys. Now you have to check which key the user pressed. For example, you can see like if these keys is like Pygame has something called like you can say like a Pygame has like key, say like a right key. This is the right arrow key. If this is happens, what we want, we want to move the user. Maybe if it's the right arrow, we want to move to the right. And every single time, maybe we want to move this dude as like a 5 pixel or whatever the pixel, or maybe 10 pixel, whatever we want to move. And if you look into this user, you see this is X and Y. This is the Y position 520 and X is 150. That means we want to make it dynamic. So to do this, we declare here, maybe we'll close this guy here, and then we make user X position, and the default value is whatever the value you see, 150. This is your default value, and we set is like user X values. That is the user's X position values. We set it here, and we want to make it dynamic. That means if you click on this right arrow, then user X, whatever the previous values, we will capture this and we will add 10 with it, and that would be new value of user X. And now if you stop this dude and then you run this again, and this dude is static, you press the right arrow on your keyboard and then it should be able to move. Now it goes, and then doesn't come back. So now we need to do the same thing with the left arrow. So we can do another if, something like here, or else if, whatever you are comfortable, maybe if, and this would be keys, and this would be your pygame dot k. This would be your left your left key, and in that case you will do user X. This value would be whatever the user X values minus 10. That means if user, this is the keys, okay, don't do the spelling mistake, keys is the left, then move this to the left 10 pixel. So run this guy here, boom, boom, and now if you can use the left or right to move either side. Isn't it cool? So you should be able to move the user as it's needed, and it goes outside. If it goes outside, then it's a problem, you will be hiding and you will be never crashed. So don't allow this the user to hide. So what you can do is said, okay, you can go to the right, that means increase the values if user you presses the right keys and the user X values is less than maybe 300. In that case, you're telling, hey, you can go to the right, but until you are going to the position 300 or something like this. That means you are hitting the wall actually, because we know the user image is 60 pixel, total is 360. So if you are 300 position, your body width is 60, that means you are hitting on the side wall. So now we stop this dude and then run again. We'll see that we press the right arrow on the keyboard, but it doesn't go more than this. So you can make like a 360 or 280 or whatever the values, but user should not be able to go out of the screen. And now what we can do maybe the left arrow, and we need to do the same thing here. Now we can go far on the left. So we can do, say like you do this left arrow, reduce it, but when the user X value is greater than 0, then you only reduce, otherwise don't reduce it. Otherwise this dude would be hiding on the corner or hiding on the closet or hiding under the table or whatever he wants to hide, and then you'll never catch him. So now you should not be able to go out of the screen. And maybe if we are going this, so we maybe reduce it to like maybe 280 or something like this. In that case, we are able to do our step number 3, and that is moving the user on the screen somewhere, but goes to the wall, but we'll be able to, and we are done with step 3. Isn't it cool? Like now it seems like you're doing something, and it's almost there actually. So what only you need to do now, you need to detect whether user crashes with the chicken, and that detection could be done multiple ways. We'll see in the next step, but in this step you are able to at least move this dude in on the side or here and there. In this part, this is the part 4 of this game, where we will try to understand the crash or the collision. And Pygame has an easier way to detect it and if you using all this loading the images by using a class, and that becomes like much easier. You just check whether these two object has a collision or not. But since we are trying to understand the game development concept as well, so I'll try to explain that when you will know this has a crash or not. So think about this case, that if this dude is on this side, he will never have a crash with this chicken 1. He might have a crash with chicken 2, but ignore this chicken 2 for now. He will never have a crash with chicken 1 because they don't have in the same position. There has a enough social distance. So to have a crash with chicken 1, this dude has to be in this place. Even this dude is this place right now, it will not have a crash if it moves just before the chicken came down to this position. So to have a crash with chicken 1, his position has to be less than 60 or something like this, and also this chicken has to in this position, otherwise they two will not crash. Let's test it. Now it's very easy. So if we do this, and we'll do simple if logic here, and our logic will tell us that if chicken 0, this is the first chicken position, if chicken 0, chicken y for the 0 is greater than, say for example 500 or something like this, and user x position is less than maybe like 70 or 80, some number, then we can print something like that, crash with chicken 1. Let's test it actually. So for example, we run this guy, and okay, that's fine, we'll do this. Now it comes here, it goes, chicken 1 goes, no crash here. So we do this, we put it here. Now look at, keep an eye on this side. You'll see like, okay, a crash with chicken 1 happened because this crash happened. If we move this will not happen. Crash didn't happen because we are not detecting crash with chicken 2 but crash 1. So now if we move, keep it here, when it will crash, when this chicken came, keep an eye on here. Now crash here, and this loaded something here. You will know that if you have other values. So let's do the second one too. What the second one will have is this third one is actually easier. Second one will be a little bit trickier, but anyway. So the third one will happen if user x position is something like this. That means like what the maximum values is could be whatever the value we can have is 280 or something like this. That means his values is like 220 or even more or something like this. In that case, this will have a crash and chicken y position has to be here. If chicken is here, there is no crash. Chicken has to be here. That means we can say like if chicken, for the third one, if chicken, this is the third chicken, is greater than 500 and user x is greater than maybe 220 or something like this, then we will be able to tell that print. This will just seeing something like a crash with chicken 3. This is the index 3. Okay, let's see. Let's run this guy and see. We run this guy. We are in the sitter, so we go on the right side. We'll see chicken 3 is coming, and we'll see like a crash with chicken 3. We put it some like here. That means they are making a distance with chicken 3, and then it doesn't crashes. We go a little bit left. We are here. We are safe with 1. We put here, and if you don't move, in that case, we will have a crash with chicken 1. So we are able to detect crash with 3. We are able to detect crash with 1, and you see like a multiple values of crash 1 because we need to fix it a little later. But when it comes here, and it's a pixel moves like 555, and this guy doesn't move, so it kind of like crashes for every iterations. So it hits there, hits there, hits there, hits there, hits there. For every iteration, it's showing that crash with chicken multiple times because of the loop. We can fix that. If the crash happens, then then we change the values or something like that. That we'll do later in this tutorial. But right now we know that crash 1 and crash 2 happens. When will happen the crash 3? Crash 3 will happen if the chicken X position, chicken Y position has to be here, that we know that part, and user X position has to be something in between. So either user the behind part could crash with the chicken, or this user could be on this side and then it can collide with this user's left side. So what we can write here, say in between we can write if chicken, this is the chicken 1, so we'll do this. If the chicken 1 is greater than 500, we have this, and user X greater than something like say 100 or something like this, and user X is less than 200 or something like this. If it is 200, then we can say like print crash with chicken 2, chicken 2. So we have a crash with chicken 2. So let's see that. Let's see. We are running here, and then we are middle. That's good. We are move here. Safe. 2, 3 is coming. We moved here. Now we come this. We are safe. And then let's see one is coming. This. Let's. If we want to escape, we crossed little bit on the chicken 2. Let's put it here. We'll see when the chicken 2 is coming. This chicken 1 not touching, but chicken 2. If it is touching little bit, that means we are putting it in the very safer. Maybe we'll make it like greater than 80, and then let's see with the right side. We can do some trial and error and then do this. This is the chicken 2, something like this, and you can adjust it as needed if you want to adjust it and do something with it. But we got this at least detecting the crashing. Now we need to maybe work with the score, or maybe this crashing happens multiple times. We want to, if it crash happens for the first time, we want to change the maybe the chicken position or something like this. Whatever the crash happens, we can do that way, and that we will do in our next step. So in this step, we are able to detect crashes with either chicken 1, the sweet crashes, or we crashes with chicken 2. If the chicken arrives, we will be able to know this chicken 2 crashes happens, and then we will able to detect that crash with chicken 3 happens. Next step, we will see that the crash values, which we see like so many values, we want to show only one values. So this is step number 5, where we want to definitely crash not like too many times. When you're touching, you're kind of dead, like you're touching, you're dead, something like this, and then not too many crashes. So, and to do this, we can actually define a simple function somewhere here. Say maybe random offset, some here we can do like define crashed, and we can pass a parameter like index or idx and do something inside it. Say for example, if you crashed for first chicken, we want to pass this first chicken, so something like that, like crashed. This is like a 0 position chicken. And what we want to do, whenever you crashing, at that time we want to, you crashed, you change the chicken's position. That's super easy. Chicken Y, you already set the position. For idx, it would be random offset. So whatever you have the random offset, it will just set that value. So, and if you do this, it would be crash. Say for example, we do it for 1, maybe we'll do this 2, let's say crashed. This is for second position, which is like index 1, and then crashed position 2. This is the position 2, and we do some console log here, so that like we know that print to do print crashed with chicken, and if you pass the idx, we'll know which one is crashed. So run this dude and let's see if we have done this correctly. So you do, say for example, it crashed with number 2, and we'll see that it crashed only once. And then if you do like index 2, it's like index 2, and if you do index 0, it crashes only once. That means it's crashing for only one, which is good. Now for this crash, we can do that you are crashing, or there's a collision, and you can blast, or you can do some scoring system. So we will focus on the scoring system right now. Say for example, we declare some scoring here. For example, game score or life, whatever you want to define. This is score is 0, and every time you have a collision, this is you crash, you reduce the score. So your score will be score, whatever your score minus, say for example, you can, if you crash once, you can degrade the point maybe like 50 or whatever the number. And this ID will complain that, hey, you are setting some global variable. And if you want to set some global variable in Python, you just call global score. In that case, like global value access would be here, and you should be able to change it. And you can check it here actually. Say like score. Sorry, that is score as an output here. So every time crashes, it will show you how your score is degrading in the console. You can see it here, right here. So let this guy load, and then you crashed with number 2, and you see like his score is like minus 50. And if you move to this minus 100, minus 200, so it's increasing. And then you need to give people not only negative points but gaining points too. So the gaining points, think about it, if you can escape from a chicken, you give them some point, 5, 10, whatever the number you want to give. And for that purpose, say for example, how you know that you will escape from a chicken? Because the chicken passed without crashing. And the moment chicken will pass without the crashing would be if the index becomes 600 or more. It's increasing 600 more, because if it crashes, it will stop before 600, because you'd be crashed at like 500 or 550 or something like this. So what you can do, you can set the score here. Say like maybe score equals to score plus maybe 5. You give like 5, and it will complain again for global variable. Maybe you can print here too. Say like a print score is equals to your score, and we will take care of this global variable complaint, that global is score. You're accessing some global variable, so that's complaint be gone. So now we can see that if you are successfully escaping, so let's coming one, say whenever the first chicken came, I escaped these 2, so my score should be 10, escape 3, my score is increasing, so I'm getting like the dopamine, like to play more and more. We do this, make these people more, so like I have 35 so far, I score now 50, and now I crashed and my score became like 0 again. Let's see, I crashed again. So if you crash, it negatives the scores. And now you won't like to show the score here. Yeah, you can do this with fewer steps, so that like a user can see the score in live when they are showing the score, rather than seeing the score. Here you want to show the score. Now we would like to display the score, just because user will not be looking into the console. The player who will be playing the game will not be looking into the console, rather their eye or their concentration would be on the game board, whatever the screen they are playing. So we need to display the score here, and we need to do like few things. And the very first thing we'll need is to load the Pygame font, so that we can display some kind of text. And loading is very simple, Pygame and the font, and then we do initialize it. So this is the first step. And since we're to display the text, we can do it either, we can define a function here actually. Let's do define a function, maybe say like a display score. And then you will pass the score to this function from somewhere, and you would like to display it here. And you need to do like 4 things, minimum 4 things here. And the first thing would be you need to get a font from the system or somewhere else, and that would be your Pygame. So like you want to get a font from the system. So that means like your system font, whatever your OS or the system has, and there is a common one. You can do like a comic sans ms, and then you can say like what would be the font size, and that would be, and you can define much more like you see like a name size, whether this is bold, italic, and few other things. We just make it like a 30 or 40, whatever the font size. So we declare the font, and then we need to find out that which text we want to display. And in our case, maybe we can say like in a score, the text would be, whatever the text would be, equals to score colon and then plus score. And you cannot just add like a number to a string. You need to little bit convert it. So what we will do, we will do str, that is like a Python way of like converting a number to a string. So we'll do this, and this will become to a like a score colon and then the number it has. So that's, we got two part done. And next task is to convert it to an image. The string will convert to an image and then transfer it to the screen. So these two is like simple. So we look at a text image or something like this, and that would be font render. You see like a render has like a few parameters, say like a text, NTLS, and the color and those things. So you can define like a text, which is our score text. We already have it, and then we say true. So like we will not worry about this. And the color, you can define like all different color you want. In our case, we will make it like a green color. Like we can make it a conditional color too. If it is like score is less than 0, make it red and those kind of thing. But we are getting like very simple way that this is green, your 255.0. And the last thing is to on the screen, and you need to transfer it. So this is like BLIT, looks like a block image transfer, and you need to transfer the text image like an image. And as the BLIT you did before, you need to define the position. So you can define the position, maybe your x-axis y is like a 20, y-axis y is 10. So we got this, and we reduce the space. So we have this, and all we have to do is to call this display score and the pass the score. And where is the good place? You are doing the changes and all these things, you are crashing, and after crash would be a good place to update the score. So all we have to do is say like, okay, display score and pass the score. So that's it. Now we play the game, and we play this, and then we see score is 0, which is good. You're showing this. Now we need to move a little bit. So 2 is chicken pass. We got like 10, another 15, another guys 20, 25. We are doing so good. This guy came 30, 40. We scored like almost 40. We know in the safe side. Let's see whether we need to do like a hard move like this. And this we got 50, 55, and this. Okay, we keep safe. And then if we keep scoring, so this is like a never-ending game. So it will be like you keep playing, even if you crash sometimes. So like then you will lose the points. So for example, we crash with this guy, we lose 50, became 40, crash this, minus 10, crash this guy, you get like minus 60, and you keep playing. So you get like a 5 increase, or this another 5 increased. So this is pretty much the game and the score. You can like work with life or those kind of thing. And then you can also say like if your score is negative, then you will stop the game, something like this. You can do that too. All you have to do is to reset the value of keep alive. So in some places, if you set the values keep alive, say for example, if you are updating the score, this is where you are negative and you are printing. If you don't need the print, that's fine. You can say like, okay, index offset these, and then if score is less than minus 500 or something like that, that you are very horrible player. We see like a keep alive is equals to false. So you set the keep alive, which is a global variable. So you say like a global keep alive. You do this. In this case, you are setting the global variable, and then what will happen, like minus 500. So that means like you need to crash at least 10 times. That means your life is actually 10 crashes. So for example, this is 1, this is our 2, this is our 3, we're 145, this is our 195, we do this 295. So if we do 500, let's see, cross this, and I missed this one. Let's see, we're close to this is the 490, one more crush, and then game stops because we have like a score less than 500 is keep alive is false. And you can show some other texts, for example, the game over or something like this in the center of the screen by using this method or changing it. But our whole game or journey was to, at least without knowing much more, build this game where we can escape from the chicken. And if you want to make the chicken coming faster, you can change this a little bit. Say this would be value of like, and less gap is like 1500 or something, and you can play with those numbers and then make this game much more competitive, much more challenging or relaxing, whatever you want to do. It's a game strategy. Some games wants you to like very easy going so that you don't think much and you keep playing, and if you lose few steps they don't worry. Or some games is like, no, you have to pay much more attention and you have to be very careful, otherwise somebody will shoot you or do something else. So it's a lot of strategy, a lot of design, a lot of thinking, a lot of level, and so many things happens. But here we want to introduce you at how easy to think about in terms of a game, how you will think about this board, whatever is the screen you're seeing, how you display the text, and how you detect the collision, how you capture the events from the keyboard, and then you move your objects or you make animation of things falling from the sky or something like this. And that's all we wanted to cover from this video. So if you are still around there, please help me and please subscribe to this channel. And my target is to get 2000 subscriber next 5 days. Otherwise, I have to keep washing all these dishes. So save me from washing from the dishes and play this game. And if you want to share this game with your friend, all you have to do is to like click on this share. It will give you the link. This is the shareable link. And if you want to like share this link to anybody, just give it to anybody and they should be able to just go there and play this game just by pressing on this. So, or even you can share this output of this game as well. So that's all from this video. And if you are still around, thanks for watching this channel, and definitely check out our apps we have in the Android and iOS, both the places we have the app. It's very good app and we already have like a 4.8 ratings. And if you want to learn more about Python, this is the best Python app. You can read our reviews over there. And that's all from this video. See you in the next one.